Hey, this is Byron Summerdahl with Ackland Avenue, and I'm here joined by several friends and coworkers. And we're just going to spend a little bit of time talking about agile estimation, and especially trying to focus on high speed estimation using techniques that I've been reading about and learning about. One of those is relative estimation. I've been wanting to get into relative estimation for a long time, and it seems really interesting. But with tight schedules and people worried about deadlines and checks coming in and going out every week, it's kind of hard sometimes if you don't really have if you don't have a really good way of applying relative estimates. It's kind of scary. Does any of you all do any of you have any experience with relative estimates, or have any thoughts, or maybe just fears about the idea of relative estimates before we get into explanations and things like that?
Yeah, I do have I think, a little anecdote. In the current project that we're working on, TAPS, we started doing what I think are relative estimates. I'm not sure if what we did there was relative estimates, but we were trying to estimate something that we didn't know, like, how to do it. So the only experience there is it it get wrong because sometimes you don't know what to estimate or how to estimate things that you don't know how to build. For example, us as developers, usually when we estimate things, we usually know, hey, I need to do this, this, and this, and it's going to take me this amount of time. But it could get a little dangerous if you don't know what you're supposed to build or how to build it. So I just wanted to
Yeah,
mention, yeah, that.
cool. Who else?
So I would say that for me, I oftentimes find that, as a product owner, I can go in and, as a rule of thumb, I've got a pretty good guesstimate on what the teams will size things.
You
And the
do.
benefit, yeah, and it's just based on the fact that I've done this before. I've worked with other developers on the same user stories, different project, and I'm like, okay, I bet the developers are going to say it's going to be this. Oftentimes I'm right. The benefit is that then I can also say, okay, what did I miss? Why do you think it's less? Why do you think it's more? Um, and help with that. So having that historical data,
Yeah. So you
even if
probably have almost like singers. Some singers have relative pitch, where they have maybe like the dial tone of a telephone memorized, and so they know that that's a I don't I'm gonna mess it up. They know that's a D or a D sharp or something like that. I don't know music very well, but they know that that's certain note, and then there's, based on their knowledge of that, they're able to say, okay, well then that's this over here is a C.
mm,
And so your knowledge and history helps you to say, well, this is sort of like this thing over here, right?
absolutely, yep.
Yep. Yeah, I've noticed your estimates are usually pretty close. So yeah, that's an asset. Anybody else? Any thoughts about or fears about relative estimates, or even the thought of trying to go really fast with estimates, like get estimates done super fast? Does that scare anyone? Especially when sometimes it feels like our feet are being held to the fire based on our estimates. Sometimes, a lot of times, we want to take a long time to get those estimates done because we want to think about them, ask a ton of questions, and really get them right. Problem is, they're still not right. Yeah, we. Anybody want to raise their hand at we or agree with me as we suck at estimates? That's and I'm saying we as human beings. I am a horrible estimator. And so for me, the idea of rushing through estimates can be kind of scary, because I really do want to try to get accurate, even though I have no hope of getting accurate. Um, by the way, if you're listening online, throw some questions in the Q&A section. That way we'll see them in the in our panel here, and we'll be able to answer them as we go. And if you're watching in YouTube, there should be a link to go into the Hangout viewer, and then that's where you're able to ask questions. So feel free to do that. I've been noticing a few coming through on Slack, and we're not really watching Slack very closely right now. That's for you, Carlos. So so I do feel kind of apprehensive about trying to speed through estimates because I want to get accurate. However, there could be some benefit to speeding through some estimates. And we're going to talk about that here in just a few minutes. So there are some pretty cool benefits that I've been reading about and that I've also been able to see in action just a little bit about relative estimates, this concept of relative estimates. And basically, in a nutshell, if you want to log off after this explanation, you'll be able to get the basic idea of what a relative estimate is. It's basically what Nathaniel mentioned. It's where you've done something before over here, and you've been asked to do this other thing over here, and it feels like about the same thing. It feels like the same level of effort. So if this one took you a day, this one will probably take you a day too. That's just a relative estimate. You're basing your idea of how long this should take based on relativity to this other thing. So let me show you some slides here that I've been working on all afternoon. I'm kidding, just for a few minutes. So how long would it take you to walk up to the top of these buildings using the staircase? No elevators allowed. So the first building is only 5 stories. So somebody take a guess. How long would it take you as just a regular human being, relatively good physical shape, to be able to walk up 5 flights of stairs?
Your screen is black, Byron.
Oh.
Thank you, man. I thought I was the only one.
Oh.
Thank you. Thank you, Dennis. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I love when Hangouts does that to me. All right.
Well, that's just
now?
one step, so one step, because the screen is black.
Yeah, just one. So it'll take you half a second, right? So can you see it yet?
No.
Nope.
No.
If I resize a little bit.
What are you using, man? 16K.
Just
Monitor.
Chrome. Just Chrome. How about now?
Nothing yet.
Nope.
All right, I'm just gonna keep on experimenting here and.
There it is.
Oh, did I just press stop? Oh, you gotta go faster than that.
There it is. There it is.
Okay. I'm not gonna press stop anymore. Okay, so 5-story building. How long would somebody take a stab? How long would it take you to walk all the steps to get to the top of the building?
10 minutes.
Richard says 10 minutes. Anybody want to? Because this means the success or the failure of your sprint. Are you sure about 10 minutes?
10 minutes to get to the top of a 5-story building?
I think it's less. For
A lot less.
Yes.
Are you outside of the building? Are you outside of the building? Do you know where the stairs are?
You do. And these are awesome questions. This is how I would love to hear grooming sessions going with these kinds of questions.
Okay, so if you're inside and you're in front of the stairs, I think it would take a lot less. But if you're like looking for the stairs and all of that stuff, I think.
So how long? How long then?
Okay, let's say.
Estimate.
Yeah, maybe I don't know, 5 minutes, 1 minute per story.
Okay. Anybody else want to throw an estimate out there?
Somewhere between 30 seconds and a minute per story. So it depends on how many,
1 minute.
Yeah, I'd say 1 minute. That's a conservative estimate.
1 minute per story. Okay, and that's with the pressure of the CTO saying that your success lies on this, and so it's important to pad it a little bit, right?
Oh,
You
well,
get to the top, and you can have a soda right before you get to the top of the building. Okay, so
Right.
so five stories, 5 minutes. Um, you're actually already stealing some of my thunder, but all right. So what about a 30-story building? Is that harder to estimate?
I would say yes, because I don't know if
210 stories,
that's
harder
even
to estimate.
harder.
Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
120 stories, certainly harder to estimate. And of course, we're only talking about walking up steps. It's not rocket science. It's not like a science experiment. Like when we create software, it's like a science experiment. We're not walking up steps because walking up steps is something that's familiar and predictable. About the only kind of roadblock you're going to find when you're walking up steps is maybe somebody left something on the steps and you have to walk around them. But for the most part, it's not like a science experiment like what software is. So go ahead.
I was going to jump in, Byron, and say the other factor that plays a big thing when you're talking about climbing stories or climbing stairs is fatigue.
Yes, exactly.
At
Right.
30 stories, okay, I'm gonna need a break. At 5 stories, I can, especially if I live on the 5th floor, I'm used to climbing those stairs.
Yeah.
Right.
A 15-minute type of rest, some coffee
Yeah,
and
you
something.
probably want to take a break halfway up the stairs. If you're doing, 15 flights of stairs, take a break, and then do another 15. And the
Sure.
210, I don't know that you're 120, excuse me, the 120 stories, I'm not even sure that I could climb 120 stories.
Well, if you took a break every now and then, like you mentioned, then you probably could. It might take you a few days.
Yes.
People might have to have like a dinner on the 50th floor or something waiting for you. Okay, so here you guys have already stolen a little bit of my thunder, so thanks. So a typical stairwell is kind of like this. One flight of stairs is 2 lengths of stairs. This staircase happens to have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 steps in it. So you got a total of 24 steps in one flight of stairs. We can do some relative estimating on these buildings, and like you all were already starting to do. You said, well, okay, one flight of steps might take me a minute, and so if that's true, then you could say that 5-story would take you 5 minutes, and not counting breaks, which assuming that there would be breaks. Not counting the breaks, we could say that 30-story building would take 30 minutes of actual stair climbing. Can we agree to that? Not including the breaks, assuming that there are breaks, but not counting them into the time. So we can go 210 stories, no problem, 210 minutes, almost 2 hours, no big deal. Of actual walking, if someone's paying us per step of that we walk.
Mm-hmm.
So we could use relative. We could even maybe just time how long it takes to climb 5 stories without estimating it, and then use that 5-story as our baseline, as our relative, and then so 30 is just 6 times whatever it took us for the 5
Right.
stories. So this is some really basic rudimentary relative estimating, really just to illustrate the point of what is relative estimating. It's not super analogous to what we're doing because, like I said, creating software is more like a science experiment. It's not like building a bridge or a building that's so familiar. So let's take it a little step farther. Let's talk about peeling and eating fruit. So just one by one, tell me which one of these fruits are. Just starting with number 1.
Orange.
Orange. What else?
Raspberry,
Yeah.
banana.
Yeah.
Apricot.
That's an
No.
apricot?
No.
I think it is.
That is
No?
a plum.
A plum. Oh, sorry.
There's
I
a
thought it
plum,
was
then
an
we've got
apple.
coconut, strawberry, cherry,
Pears.
Pears.
pear, lemon.
Number 9.
I don't know what 9 is. 10 is a
No.
lemon.
9
Yeah.
is a guava.
No, a guava.
Guayaba.
Well, is it guayaba in español only, or is guava and guayaba the same thing?
No.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
I think
Let's
it's
go
the
with
same
that.
thing.
Let's go with that
So we
because
got
I'm not really sure.
lemon and then
Lime.
lime.
Uh-huh.
Papaya.
Papaya.
Okay, watermelon.
Watermelon.
Peach.
Then
Peach.
peach.
So peach and then
We've got some cousins to the peach, like maybe a nectarine.
nectarine. Yes.
Mm.
And then there's actually two. 14 and 17 has got me completely confused. Because 14 looks like a peach and 17 looks like a peach.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But 16, what's that?
Blueberry.
Blueberry.
All right.
Apple.
18,
Apple.
Yeah.
Pineapple.
Pineapple. Anyone have a clue on 20?
Lychee.
Rambutan.
Like,
Yeah.
That's a
they're lichas.
That's licha.
Rambutan.
So
It's
it's
a rambutan.
it's leek, I think, in English. But I
Lychee.
have no clue how to spell it.
Likey. Lychee.
Mm-hmm.
I have no clue how to spell leek in English.
Okay, then we got kiwi, grape,
Grape.
cherry, and blackberry.
All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to split into 3. No, we'll go with 2. Let's see, how many people do we have, not including me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've got 8 people. Let's just do 2 teams. I need for you all to split up into teams really quickly, and
I don't know if my face is double. I think I'm twice in the screen.
You are. So
Yes.
one team with 3,
Oh,
one
there.
team with. There you go. Okay, one team with 3, one team with 4. Go ahead and split up now. Let's see how well you all can do this in a hangout, and then pick a team name really quickly. I'm going to give you all about 30 seconds to do this. Ready, go.
Okay. Oh, I was going to just say Dante, Dennis, and Frank. How about you guys with me and Fernando, Pamela, Richard?
Okay.
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 Okay, cool. So right now, I am going to pass a link to you guys in the Hangout chat, and I just need for you to hop into that Google Doc, and I'm going to change my my screen to go to a different thing. So this is a Google spreadsheet, and we've got 2 of them. Okay, so I need team names. Team number 1 with Nathaniel, what's your team name?
Fruit Munchers.
Are you okay with that? Okay. Second team, what's your name?
Fruit Ninjas?
Huh?
Ooh,
Fruit
Fruit
Ninjas.
Ninjas. Dang it!
I kind of thought Fruit Ninjas would be one of them.
I was never
Fruit
good at that.
Ninjas. and then Fruit Munchers. See, Fruit Munchers. Live typing is always a horrible thing. Okay, so what we're going to do is, if you're with Nathaniel, then you should join the document on the Fruit Munchers tab at the bottom. If you're with Pamela, then you'll be on the Fruit Ninjas in the second tab. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be observing and doing the typical game announcer. And I'm going to be jumping back and forth between the 2. What you should do when I give you the ready, set, go, what you'll do is you'll take the list of fruits that's in column M, and you're going to collaborate between your team to put these in order of relative time that it would take to peel and eat the fruit, not including seeds. And so what you'll do is you'll just don't copy, but do cut so that you're or move the contents. Don't leave the fruits in the column M. So just actually move them over. Don't start yet. I know you want to, but don't do it. And so 1 is just a number. It could mean minutes. It could mean hours or days. It's whatever you want it to mean. But just know that there's a 1 through 10, and we can assume that 10 is the absolute longest. 1 is the absolute shortest amount of time. Are there any questions before we get started?
Do we have to peel a raspberry?
You'll need to know that in between you and your team. That's one of those things that you can investigate within your team.
All right. And are these 10 items, or
They're like 20.
there's 20? Okay, cool.
In 3.
And I didn't put. I think there's actually 23 because I didn't put every single fruit because I didn't know, like 14, 15, and 17 are so similar. So I just put peach and nectarine.
Got it.
So there should be maybe 23.
So are we supposed to be talking during this process?
That is a really good question.
Maybe on a Slack.
Yeah, I like Fernando's idea. He created a Slack and we're chatting there.
Okay.
We are?
Take it.
Let me.
Take the bull
Over
by the
here.
horns.
Do you see it?
They say in cowboy times, take the bull by the horns. That's like, take the initiative. Okay, so yeah, whatever you're gonna do, if you want to talk here, I'll probably be talking a lot here too, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, I think 4 minutes is enough for you all to speed through this, and then we'll look at the results after you're finished. So ready, go. And they're off. Fruit munchers are rounding the corner and blah 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 blah. If you're just staring at the computer screen or wondering what to do with your keyboard, then get with your team and start going. Fruit ninjas are already off to a good start. Fruit munchers, we're kind of waiting on you all to do something.
Yeah, we haven't started. All right, so let's go ahead and get started.
I can understand the hardest.
Thank you, man.
One of the downfalls of using the audio to talk about it.
Raspberry is going to be harder. All right, so let's go ahead and start putting them in spots.
Fruit ninjas, you're almost already done. Good job. We'll see whether going this fast is a good idea.
Blackberry. Raspberry. All right. Dante, can you grab the small ones that are the hardest? Yeah, cherry, definitely.
Remember that 10 is the hardest.
Yep. Dante, you can put the hard ones in. Frank,
Now,
you want to grab the easiest?
One more
Remember
thing.
copy.
Go as if you can revise as many times as you want to. You can move these things around. If you put it in the wrong place, then just move it again.
Remember, guys, to copy, not just. Hey, Dennis.
Hello.
Let's grab some of the ones that are in the middle, like probably like lime.
Yep.
And I'm like,
You peel a line with it.
Let's do some relatives.
All right, so there's the fruit ninjas moving things around frantically.
Yeah, they're really at it. They've got good organization skills. All right.
We're looking at fruit munchers right now, trying to figure out the strategy. Whoever just typed in lime, remember you can just cut and paste. You don't have to retype things because right now there's a lime in 5, and then there's also a lime that's still and a lemon that's still in M. we need to make sure that there's only one copy of each.
Hey guys, if you're grabbing stuff, put them in the column you think they're at. So grab the ones that you think are the easiest or the hardest.
So we got fruit munchers. You've got lime and lemon right in the middle. So everything else should kind of go around lime and lemon. And I suppose I should have said that seed you don't have to eat, and if the skin is not something you would normally eat, you don't have to eat it.
I eat the skin and the seeds of everything.
Okay.
What?
But you gotta come to a consensus with your team. So if most people don't eat the stem on the apple, then don't eat the stem on the apple.
Really?
Oh! Hear that? Let's see if you guys can. Yeah. There we go. Timer is going. Yeah, it was my timer. That's the timer. Okay, so let me give you.
Wait, what happened?
I know it looks like some things are moving around at the last second here.
Alright, well,
Are you so
Why
Fruit
is
Ninjas?
this-
Are you all putting these in one column?
No, who's doing that? I wasn't doing that. Who did that?
Who did that?
I don't know, but
Chupacabra.
the level of effort, the chupacabra, the level of effort should go from easiest at 1 to hardest at 10.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
It seems like I need to give you another couple of minutes here, so I'm going to give you another
yes,
2
please.
minutes. 2 more minutes. Go, go, go.
All right, orange is probably the easiest. Orange, lime, and lemon, maybe.
If it should have seeds normally, if it wasn't genetically engineered, then it will have seeds. You can imagine that. For instance, cherry. Cherry has seeds.
Okay, so they're usually, let's move this.
And if you would normally eat the seeds, for instance in strawberry, then you should assume that you should eat the seeds. Don't try to eat the meat around the strawberry seeds. That'd be weird. Okay,
Dante, I think
down to
banana
1
is the
minute.
easiest.
Which one?
Which?
Banana.
Banana is easy.
It's
Yeah.
the easiest to peel and eat.
So there's Fruit Munchers, and then we're going to show Fruit Ninjas to see how they're doing.
Let's put that one on
It's
one.
looking much better.
In orange should be the same as a lemon, I think.
Yes.
By the way, I'm showing my spreadsheet screen, right? Not just a
Watermelon,
black
Yes.
screen.
pineapple, papaya, they're hard. I don't know how to peel a plum, so
I'm going to recommend that we have the team breakaway next time, Byron.
I'm the product owner, by the way. So if you have any questions about a specific fruit, then you can ask me.
yeah. How do you eat the skin of a guava?
Yes.
Watermelon is harder.
Wait a minute. 10 is the hardest or 10 is the easiest?
10 is
10
hardest.
is
The
the
hardest.
Okay.
Uh,
Dan-
You've got.
we've had some problems with confusion with this issue.
Okay.
That is the hardest.
I think
I'm giving you 2 more minutes. This is the longest high-speed estimate ever.
All right. Okay. Guys, if you need to peel blackberries, raspberries, cherries, and blueberries, it's going to be almost impossible to get the skin off.
No, you don't have
Kiwi
to.
like.
You don't have to.
No, you'd normally eat that because
Oh,
you just pop them in your mouth.
okay.
The kiwis peel. Yeah,
You would peel a
Okay.
kiwi
that's it.
Yeah.
normally.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would move.
I eat the kiwi, the skin.
Cranberries, do
It's
they
true.
have
I eat
skins?
the watermelon skin too.
Yeah, they have. raspberries. So.
Dennis, you're unique. Oh, there is two.
Yeah. In a zombie apocalypse, I will survive.
That's right, you will. All right.
Okay, 49 seconds. No more extensions. Dante, you enjoying this?
Yes.
Why do we have two peaches?
There shouldn't be.
Byron, I have some comments that your screen is not being seen, so can you set it as the only screen to be seen by people in the
Like that.
Yeah.
Okay,
And thanks Rene because he was the one that told me so.
cool. So let me see if there are any questions. Krista has been going crazy, letting us know, yes, it's a guava. So at least I left that one there. Time's up.
No.
Okay. So let's take a look. Let's take a look. I'm gonna switch over to Fruit Ninjas, and let's see what we got. In the first column, no more edits, please. In the first column, raspberry, strawberry, grape. Grapes normally have seeds.
Yes.
Really?
Just make that little comment. Yeah.
Oh.
You eat those expensive Price Mart grapes, don't you?
Those seeds.
I call those gringo grapes because in the States, no one wants grapes with
Wait,
seeds in them.
grapes have seeds?
Yes. And they're the most horrible seeds you've ever put in your mouth. They're like, you bite into one and your whole mouth dries up like like you just licked a bar of antiperspirant.
Okay, just imagine that is in number 4 then. If if they sell grapes with seeds, so.
Yeah.
Grapes have seeds?
So bananas, limes, and lemons. So you do have to peel a banana, also lime and lemon.
Yeah.
So then, and then harder than that is pear, apple, guava, and peach.
I think.
I personally would. Well, here I'll save my comments. And then after that, cranberry, blueberry, blackberry, cherry.
And grapes.
And grapes. And then harder than that gets to the orange, the leech, or leek, or whatever it's called. What a horrible name. And then even harder than that is a plum, a nectarine, a kiwi, watermelon, pineapple, papaya. Yeah, those are hard. And then coconut, definitely the hardest.
The most harder. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Would somebody put each list in alphabetical order for me, please? Just kind of run through there and sort each list. All right, so we're going to take a look at the fruit munchers. And if someone wants to do these in alphabetical order, starting with the last list, that would be great too. So in the first row, I'm already seeing some things I disagree with, but it's not about me, it's about you guys. So for you all, it's just as easy to eat a banana as it is to pop a blackberry in your mouth. But then there's blackberry, there's blueberry. Cherry has a seed, by the way, unless it's a gringo cherry. It's already
have seeds.
That's already been de-seeded and put into a little jar with strawberry with sugar syrup.
Maraschino.
Yeah, maraschino's. And then the cranberry and raspberry. So I agree with most of those. And then there's the grape, which is just a little bit harder to eat because of the seed. Then the leek, nectarine, plum, strawberry. Strawberry, that's an odd place for me to put a strawberry because, once again, it's like one of those, you just kind of rip off its little green hat and then pop it in your mouth. Apple, papaya, peach, pear. Now, lemon, lime, and orange, I would definitely put those together. Totally. The guava is a lot like an apple, except that the seeds are a little bit harder to sift through once you get closer to the core. But I just eat them anyway, typically. Coconut is, like I said, like we said before, is definitely the hardest. But then there's pineapple, kiwi, watermelon. So yeah, they could be a little bit harder. You might need a tool to, you might need a knife to get into a watermelon, where other things you might just be able to use your fingernails. So
I
I wonder
disagree
how
with the
these,
lemon, lime and orange.
the lemon, lime, and orange, are they are harder than apple, easier than guava. Would you say that that's
No, I disagree to put them in the same line. I think oranges
ah
are harder.
really?
Lemons are just like just to squeeze them.
Oh, squeeze them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not
It dep
juicing these things. We're eating them.
oh,
Yeah.
that depends. Yeah.
Yes.
I use
Yeah.
lemon.
Some people peel it.
Dennis eats everything. Uh, lemon might take you a little bit longer, just because every time you pop it in your mouth, you pucker up, and it might have to pace yourself with that. So so both teams had different opinions, for sure. Now let's do it one more time, but this time we're going to uh, put these. We're going to use one list, and we're going to go in one by one order. No more teams. And so I'm just going to move these over here. Whoops. Yep. Okay, so this is no longer Fruit Munchers, it's just everybody. Everybody. And so now we're going to go in order
Release
of,
chaos.
let's see, Richard, Ferenc, Nathaniel, Pamela, Dante, Dennis, Fernando. 2, 4, 6, 7. Okay. So we'll go in alphabetical order. Sort. Is it going to do it for me? There we go. And then I'll also put these in alphabetical order. Data, sort, go. Okay. So now that we know a little bit about these fruits, Dante, where would you put the apple? I'll actually just let you all move these yourselves. You can talk about what you're doing while you're doing it, but just go ahead and move it for me.
I would like to put them on 3.
Go for it.
Yes. Okay.
All right. Do you want to say why?
Yes, because sometimes the apple is difficult to peel it.
Okay. Well, we're actually, with the first one, we're really just setting a baseline anyway. So, how about Dennis?
The banana is number one. It's easy to peel. Just 2 movements and you're eating a banana.
All right, go for it. Go for it. Now, from here on out, after Dennis, you can either pick from a fruit that has not been done yet, or you can move someone else's fruit to another place.
Just one
So
movement per turn.
one movement per person. Ferenc, go ahead.
Okay, I think that the apple should be a 4.
Okay. Next.
Fernando.
Hello.
If you need to know your order, that's in column N.
Yeah. The blueberry, right?
All right, go ahead.
I think that is like one of also the east one. So I put it on 3, 2.
Go for it. Yeah, you all don't have to ask permission to move something. Just pick it up and go.
Okay.
Just go in order, that's all. Fernando, Nathaniel.
Okay, so I totally disagree. I think the banana is actually harder to eat than the blueberry, so I'm going to put the banana in the blueberry column, and hopefully someone else
And
is
hope
going
someone else.
to
Okay.
use blueberry in order number 1.
Blueberry, does it have seeds?
No.
No, okay. Okay.
So that's Pamela's next.
Me? I'll move the coconut to the 10. I think that's the easiest one.
Okay.
Richard, go.
Okay, I'll go with the barbarian. Yes, move it to number 1.
Okay.
Next,
Dante.
Dante.
Okay. Let me think. I am okay with the order. I will pick the blackberry,
Mm-hmm.
and I will put on 1 because it's easy.
Does it have seeds? No.
It does,
No.
but you eat them anyway.
You can eat the blackberry seeds.
It's
Okay.
a cross. It's a mora basically.
Okay.
Dennis.
Okay, the cherries. So are maraschino cherries or are cherries with
Got
seeds?
the seed.
With seeds.
Yeah, they have
Okay.
seeds.
So I put it on. I will put it on 2 because you grab the thing, you eat the cherry, and you spit the seed.
All right. Now from here on out, because we want to see how it goes with high speed. No more explanations unless you just want to say something funny. But the point here is to have one fluid motion from one person to the next. Just go.
Okay.
Byron, could you just call out every person's name when you want them to go?
I'll try to do that. So who's going now?
That would
Me.
be
Frank.
Frank, go.
Frank.
Actually, yeah. Then Fernando.
Yep.
When each one of you is done, just kind of say done or ding or something,
Okay.
and then the next person can go.
Ding, ding, ding.
Go, Nathaniel.
done.
Pamela. Richard.
Done.
Done.
Dante.
Okay.
Does cranberry have seeds?
No.
Done.
I don't know.
Dennis. I'm not sure. Actually, I'm the product owner. I should know. We'll say cranberry does not have seeds. Who's going now?
Sorry.
Frank.
And done.
Okay, Fernando.
Ding, ding, ding.
Fernando. Nathaniel.
Done.
Pamela. Richard.
Done.
Dante.
Oh, wait. Yeah.
Oh,
Done.
Dante, go.
Um,
Mm.
Did you already go, Dante?
yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
Dennis.
I moved it. Sorry. Done.
Frank.
Done.
Fernando.
And
Who's going right now?
You're undoing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
yep.
We're undoing.
Okay, Nathaniel.
I move to another place.
Mm,
Okay.
done.
All right. Pamela. In just a moment, we're going to run out of fruits, so we can just move things until we don't have things to move anymore.
Done.
Richard.
I don't know what a plum is, so I'll just guess.
It has a seed. You eat the seed. I know. So you eat the skin,
Oh, do you eat the skin?
Yeah, you do eat
and
the
it's about the
skin.
size of a nectarine.
Okay, so done.
Okay, Dante. Anything to move? Anything on this board that you disagree with, you can move it to another column.
Thinking.
The rest of you all try to have something ready. You can pass if you'd like.
Where is papaya? Okay. Done.
Dennis?
Pass.
Ferenc?
Done.
Per? Fernando?
Done.
Nathaniel?
Done.
Pamela?
Done.
Richard?
Done.
Dante?
Uh, uh, pass.
Dennis?
Pass.
Ferenc?
Pass.
Fernando?
Done.
Nathaniel?
Done.
Pamela?
Pass.
Richard?
Done.
Dante?
I pass.
Dennis?
Pass too.
Ferenc?
Pass.
Fernando?
Pass.
Nathaniel?
Pass.
Pamela?
Pass.
Richard?
Done.
Right.
Well, so we can assume that we now have the perfect relative estimate because a team of 7 very intelligent people has decided that this is how it goes. So let's see. Blueberry, blackberry, cranberry, raspberry, that makes sense. Banana, it is fairly easy. Peach has a seed, it's a little bit harder, and then a strawberry. To me, strawberry would go in 1. That's personal, though. Grape has a seed. You got to kind of spit it out. Cherry's the same way. The leek is, for me, it's hard to eat because you got to get around that whole seed. Apple, pear, plum, nectarine, to me, all definitely belong together. But like I would put the peach in the same area as plum or nectarine. The lemon, orange, or lime, I like those together personally. The kiwi, yeah, guava, papaya. Yeah, this is a really good list. Really, really good list. I mean, if we're talking about software here, then we'd be rocking it, I think. So here's the question: what's right in the middle? Maybe a lemon or a lime or an orange. How long in time? So take your idea away from relative estimates. How long in time would it take to peel and eat an orange?
3 minutes.
2
To
minutes.
eat.
Peel and eat.
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Seedless
like-
orange. I keep thinking seedless. Sorry, guys.
I would take like 10.
Gringos.
Yeah.
I would take like 10 minutes just to peel the orange and then eat it.
All right, let's just say for fun that it's 10 minutes. So that means that the apple should take less than 10 minutes, the kiwi should take more than 10 minutes. So here's the thing. Relative estimates are awesome at helping to orient ourselves around the size of things. That way we can get away from the idea of saying, well, okay, this thing is 5 points or 5 hours or whatever we want, and then this other thing over here is also 5 hours, but really it's actually more effort. If we were to do something like this with the features that we've got on our plate to start working, then we would probably do something very different. We'd probably say, "Ho, hang on a second. This thing we just got finished saying this thing would take 5 hours, but this new thing that we're talking about is way bigger than that. It should not just have a 5. It should have something higher than a 5. We might not know exactly what that is, but we know it should be more than a 5. Because we know that it would take longer to eat an orange than it would take to eat an apple. This kind of exercise, of course, it's different with fruit, right? But this kind of exercise is pretty.
Ta-da-da-dum. It was better.
Where is Byron?
The electricity.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Sometimes you hit the wrong button, wherever that.
Oh, that's
Co-
acceptable.
so I got rid of the screen sharing and everything else. Um, so if we were to do something like this during our sprint planning meetings, before we try to put a strong sprint estimate on things, before we try to do a planning poker for sprint estimates, then my theory is that something like this could actually help us to get to a more accurate sprint estimate on some cards. It would also be kind of enjoyable. Now the first thing that we did was we split it into two teams. Was that easier, harder, faster, slower than the second method?
It was harder.
Yeah. And
Harder to
slower.
split into teams and slower.
Yeah.
I
And we
think
ended up with less accurate, probably.
yeah.
Yeah.
There were two things. One, you got both teams coming up with their own ideas and own relative estimates.
hmm
But the second thing that I think would be different, and it might have actually been a better experiment, would be because of the communication,
Oh yeah.
and that threw a huge wrench. I think if the teams were effectively communicating, if they actually broke out into two separate rooms or whatever,
hmm
even if it was a 5-minute exercise, we would have come up with some really good estimates for both teams.
Very possible. And also, when we're talking about software, we're not talking about peeling and eating fruit.
Right.
We're talking about something that's like a science experiment. So there are definitely some similarities, but then the road starts to fork at some point. We have to choose a direction. So in your sprint planning meetings, when you get to the point where you might want to go back, so cards probably will already have some sort of estimate on them. Think of that estimate as like the product backlog estimate or the discovery estimate or some sort of high level estimate that maybe somebody put on there just because they needed to give some number to somebody. When you get to a sprint planning meeting, it's time to really throw that estimate away and or at least hide it and re-estimate those cards. And one way to get a really nice well, at least to really get some good communication before you estimate for real, is to do a relative estimate like this, a high-speed relative estimate. Limit the time. This is for you all if you're ever in a Scrum Master role, or if you just want to suggest this to your Scrum Master for your teams. Having a high-speed estimating round using relative estimating is a great way to get your communication flowing before a sprint planning meeting. And it also helps you understand the topics or the cards or the user stories that you've got at hand way ahead of time before you actually start trying to jump into planning poker. I don't know about you all, but I've been a part of some really boring planning poker meetings where we end up not talking a whole lot, or there's a lot of that awkward silence, or maybe there's a lot of questions that get left unasked or unanswered because we weren't in the mode. And a high-speed estimation round like this could actually get that could break that ice up and get us thinking about how the size of things. I would not suggest thinking of relative estimates as a good way to estimate sprint cards, because a sprint is already something it's a structure that's based on time. It's a for us many times it's a 2-week period, so we're already boxing it in with some sort of time value, so that if you start trying to like say, okay, well we're cool, we're not gonna estimate things using time, we're gonna use relative estimates. The problem is you're in a time box already. So if there were no time box, then you could do that kind of thing. But you're already in a time box. Your estimates have to also adhere to a time. It's like trying in algebra trying to add 2x plus 3y. Well, you can't. You've got to move the equation around, or it's trying to add 1/2 plus 3/10. you can't. You've got to find the lowest common denominator. And in our case, for a sprint, the lowest common denominator is a time-based estimate. On the other hand, this could be a really cool way to estimate all the features for a product. And this kind of zooms out to the product ownership stage or the product ownership level, where you're looking at the strategy of a whole product, and say you've got like what might be 6 months worth of product work. How are you going to estimate all that? When things are so big and there's so many questions unanswered, it'd be really, really hard to do that. But remember, remember our estimates here on the fruit. We said that here in number 5 is kind of right in the middle. An orange would maybe be about 5 minutes, 10 minutes. If you know how long one thing would take, then you can actually, using relative estimates, you could possibly take that and apply it to the rest of them, almost like what we were doing with the staircase and the number of floors. We said with a staircase, one flight of stairs would take 1 minute, so 5 flights of stairs would take 5 minutes. You could almost do the same thing with fruit estimation, where an orange takes you 5 minutes. Then you can just go up to coconut. Okay, that's 5 times. Well, if these were days, for instance, or hours, then 5. No, we'll stick with minutes. 5. The column for 5 is 5 minutes. You get up to coconut, then we can say that 10 is 10 minutes, using just relative terms. Or if 5 was 10 minutes, then you would basically go up to coconut, and that's 10. So that's 10 times 2. That'd be 20 minutes to eat a coconut. And very, very, very rough estimate, but it's a way to kind of put things in a certain order based on their effort of level of effort, and try to put an estimate on them. Trying to relate time to a relative estimate. It's hard, but it is possible as long as everybody's cool with that really rough, not very, admittedly not very accurate estimate. So that's all that I had as far as just content and ideas. Maybe we can spend just a minute or two and have some last comments from you all, or maybe questions about implementation or ideas to take it further. More fears. Silence means acceptance. Cool. Well,
Or fear.
or fear.
Fear.
Well, go ahead. Somebody had some.
About the estimates. Well, it's more easy to get an estimate when you already done some tasks, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I placed Licha in the order number 3 because to me it's like very easy.
Mm.
But for other people, I know that it's kind of difficult. So my question is, in software, that makes a difference about the estimating. How manage that?
Right,
The
because we've
technical.
got designers, testers, software developers, product owners, business analysts. We've got a lot of different roles. And we are, as a company, we're moving toward a model where we're all able to contribute to an estimate, not just the developers. We used to just think, okay, only the developers should estimate, but really, everybody should have a say in the estimate. And everybody looks at something a different way. Maybe for a programmer, it takes 5 hours to create this thing. For a tester, maybe it only takes 5 minutes to test it. Maybe it takes 10 hours to test it, depending on how the complexity of the testing. Maybe to a designer it takes twice as long to design the thing than it takes to develop the thing. Who knows? So that's why with relative estimates, it's actually really nice just to kind of judge the level of effort, and collaborate together based on that. So you put leak in the 3-lane, somebody else might have moved it. I don't know. I don't remember. And then you might move it back, and then the other person moves it back, and then you kind of have a little fight over the level of effort. Well, that right there, in and of itself, opens up the opportunity for a conversation, and you all can start to come to an agreement on where it should go. Maybe it should stay at the highest level of effort. Maybe it should be somewhere in the middle. The important part is that at some point it starts to inspire people to open their mouths and start to fight for their defend their position, or at least talk things out.
Thank you, Vader.
Got it. Anything else? All right. Well, this has been fun. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I definitely learned from you all about fruit. I'm going to go and have some right now. I'm already hungry, so hope you all do too, because it's healthy and it'll do your body good. So thanks for joining me today. See ya.
Guys,
Thank
See you
you.
guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Mhm.